Hi, I'm Scott Stigler, a Boondocker's ambassador, and I'm going to do some trailer tech tip talks with you today. Boondocker has sent out a Patriot 850 control box update, and I'm going to go through a couple of the fine points with you. Make sure before you start that you have a functional battery, 9-volt battery, and you want to make sure that you test that battery by plugging it into your Boondocker box here. If your battery is working, you'll have a red light. So we're going to unplug that right now, and we're going to get through that. Also make sure that you have the micro SD cable here for your connection to the box. Boondockers does not supply this, so you'll need to make sure that you have one of your own. Alright, I'm not going to go through all of the 44 pages of the Boondocker PDF here. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's got great photos, but there are a couple of things along the way that I can help you with. So when you get to this PDF, the first page is going to look like this, and you'll see a picture of the box. It tells you how to go through the instructions for downloading the drivers to the computer, and you need to download the drivers for the BD box, and then the third step is installing the firmware update on the box. I have already downloaded my drivers to the computer, and I've downloaded my drivers to the box, and so my next step is to download the firmware update. So, okay, a couple of things that you'll see in the instructions is that it says not to plug these into the control box until you get to that step. So make sure that you don't follow, make sure you follow the instructions very carefully. I'm at the point where I'm going to download the firmware update into my control box, so we'll back out and go over here. I'm going to plug this in very carefully, and the computer will beep when it connects. I don't know if you could hear that. And I'm going to control the battery. Now, when you put the battery in this time, when the micro SD cable and the battery are together, you will not see that red light blinking. So I come over here to the computer and I do the Patriot 850 update in the 5050 folder that the zip file downloaded. Sometimes your computer will extract it for you and you may have to manually extract it, but the Boondocker PDF does that for you. At this point, right now, I am updating the firmware, and I will click go, and it says it'll take up to 3 minutes. Some computers might give you a big blue box that comes up here before it gets to this stage, and Microsoft is asking you whether you want to continue or not. Just click on in the upper right corner of that box. You don't see it on my screen here, but click on the upper right corner of it and get the details, and then click go anyway. Okay, you'll see that the red light is on here. That means that the computer is talking to the Boondocker control box, and it's gone through process B. It's loading process B right now, so it's only got a few seconds left before this is all finished. When it's all finished, you're going to see the completed and OK to unplug signal. That is time to disconnect the battery and the micro SD cord. Alright, after you have done the downloads, it'll notify you, as you saw. You can go ahead and disconnect the battery, the micro SD cord. You can close out all of these windows that Boondocker has. Down here on page it's about page 36, 37. It'll tell you the file name that you downloaded, and it has some instructions in here on how to make sure that your tune got downloaded. So you come back and put the battery on. The micro SD cable is off. This is freestanding. I'm going to put the battery on one more time. I have the pulsing red light. That means the download was successful. Page 44 of the, or page 43 of the PDF says that you need to test your tune, and so you'll start your sled and you'll warm it up to operating temps. Run it up to 8,000 to make sure that it's operating properly. If it spits and sputters and it doesn't operate correctly, then you'll need to redo the process. And if that doesn't work a second time, then make sure that you call Boondockers. Alright, once you've run your sled on the track stand and you're ready to go, then it's time to go ride. That's Trailer Tech Tips for today.